It's scary, and everything's red, and Mr. T is shooting at me. Help! Help! Hey everyone, it's Matt Cribbs here, and Merry Christmas! At least it should be Christmas by the time you're watching this. It's not Christmas here yet, but it is really close, so we're getting all ready for the holidays. Um, but I'm not really doing anything for the holidays here on the Cribbscraft server. I'm just playing some Hermitcraft Modsauce, because that's what I do here. So yesterday, or yep, the last episode, which could be yesterday if you're on some weird kind of only 3 or 2 days a week, depending on when things come out. But the last time we had put together and fixed up our power room. So that's great. We have power for our base now. And today, what I want to do is get some storage going. We're going to need storage in order to really start expanding the base and get the machines going. Move out of the little ghetto, barrel-based storage. That works fine to sort things, but eventually going to want to get set up and get ready to have an AE system. And I did a little decoration here on the Nether portal. At some point, I'll find a location in the Nether where I want to set up my portal there and do some stuff. And for now, this is just a placeholder place where I'll put that doorway. But thought I'd put a little fire in there. Now, maybe it would be cool to, kind of set this back a little bit. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I might do that. So I'll need a little more netherrack, but I'll do that a little bit later off camera. But what I want to work on now is this storage room. And I was going to put the farms here. I'm going to move them back. I'm going to do the storage here. So as you can see, I've surrounded it with water. Now, these are just open blocks tanks filled with water. And there's a reason for that. So what I want to do for my storage world is, or storage wing, storage area is a limestone room. No, it's not a limestone room. It is a room that is, and I think you saw a quick glance there, underwater. Yes, I think a nice big domed open area underwater. That's what it's going to look like. Will look great. And maybe down a little bit of a base, but mostly just inside a dome, which means the storage is probably going to be pretty freestanding. Not exactly sure how I'm going to lay it out in there, but today what I want to do is get to work building this little domed area. And here you can see I have my ender porter pouch for getting around before I got my portal set up, and I made a bunch of blank ones for when I need them. So want to get to work creating that dome. And I did make a bunch of clear glass, and I'm going to use this limestone with the ornate panel for the base around there. But in order to do that, we're going to have to be able to work underwater. And that's not the easiest thing in the world. I haven't gone and got enchantments. I could get, I could put water breathing and do this the enchantment way, but this is not vanilla. This is modded, so we're going to use a mod. And I think what I'm going to use is, yes, mod mechanism. I'm going to use the mechanism scuba tank. And I've never actually used this before, so we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to have to build one of these, and it looks like it's just 2 enriched alloy, 3 steel, and a basic control circuit. So let's grab those. And also, to go with this, I'm going to need a gas mask. So I'll need 3 more steels. So let's see, that's a total of 6 steel, 2 control circuits. I'll need 2 glass for the helmet. And then how many enriched do I need? 1, 2, just 2. And the other thing, actually, I'm going to have to create a electrolytic separator to separate the water into oxygen to fill this tank up. So I'll need 4 iron, 2 redstone, and 2 more enriched alloys. So 4 of these, and then this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. I can count. Math is fun. So 5 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 of those. I'll need, what was it, 4 iron? There it is. 4 iron and osmium. Let's see. So an osmium, 4 iron, and then 2 redstone. And then I'll need these dusts for... Wait, no, that was wrong. That's the wrong machine. This machine. I don't need the osmium. But I need this 2 osmium dust, gold, and iron, which I have right there. So let's put the osmium back. You go back. Don't need you. And I'll need 2 redstone. 1, 2. All right, so let's build. First, we can build this guy. And there we go. The electrolytic core. And then the electrolytic separator. And now we have one of those. And then let's go next page, build the scuba tank. And we have our scuba tank and the gas mask. Sweet. Now, I should be able to put these on. And there we go. And how do I look? Oh, yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm ready to go for a swim. Sweet. But I think the problem is, 1, there it is. This is empty. And 2, I need a way to turn it on. So first, let's plug in this separator. That should be getting power. Good. Now I'm going to need to give it water. And what would be the best way to give it water? You know what? I'm going to do this I am going to just do this a very, very low-tech way because I'm kind of in a hurry. I don't want to build any other machines. So I'm just going to grab water from down here. Is that is that infinite? No, that is running water. So we'll just go down here and plop down our tank and then go, whoops, bucket, 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 bucket. Fill up the water. So I really hope this is as easy as it seems to be. I'll just fill it up and okay, now we're full. Always fill in your holes, Boy Scouts. Yeah, you don't want to leave a mess. Leave the campsite better than it was than you left. I was actually a Boy Scout when I was younger. Never made it to Eagle Scout. That takes a lot of time, man. If you know anyone who is, and honestly, I actually don't know if Boy Scouts are still any good or not. But if you know anyone who is one, wow, I can definitely say it takes a lot of time. So good, there's that. Now how do I do that? I just stick the bucket in there. And look, I'm getting hydrogen and oxygen. Can I do this any better? Come on. Pipes and wires. I think I have yes, liquid transfer node. Let's get some of you. Stick you on there. You should be filling that up. And then move you and stick you on there. And then I can put you back. And all right, you're trying to put water in our energy cube, but who cares? All right, so that should be plenty of oxygen. Now, if I stick you in there, yep, we're filling up. Oh, wow. This may not be plenty of oxygen. I might need to get a lot more oxygen. And what is going to happen when this hydrogen... Oh, can I dump it? Yes, just dump the hydrogen. Okay, sweet. So I don't need any of that. And now I just wait for you to fill up. And I might need to go make a couple more trips for water. So why don't we wait for this to fill up? And, oh, wait, there's one more thing we'll need to do. If I go to Options, Controls, and then go down to Mechanism, here, the Mechanism Mode Switch. Let's set that to semicolon so that we have a key bound to it. All right, so that's good. And now we'll just wait for this to fill up. All right, so the tank is still filling up, but while I was waiting, I realized I would need a lot more water than I just had got manually. And so had the brilliant idea of thinking, do we have a public frequency? I know I haven't set one up yet, but look at this. Water tank, white, blue, blue. So if I can get some blue and blue, two blue dyes, and create an ender tank, we should be able to get the public water supply. And I'm sure that is courtesy of BD Cribbs. He's probably set that up. So let's see what I can do about that. First of all, I can put you away. I can put the bucket away. Pipes and wires, go away. All right, so let's make an ender tank. What do I need for an ender tank? Ender tank. All right, so that's a cauldron. You know what? Let me make this up and I'll be right back. All right, we have our ender tank. And so now it should be white, blue, blue, and sure enough, there's our water. So let's go hook this guy in over here. Now, I should be able to just go... Can I stick you up here and crank you that way? Yep, and it's emptying. So he's emptying, you're filling up with oxygen, you're dumping hydrogen, yeah, H2O. So we're getting our hydrogen, oxygen, and now we're filling up. So now we just wait for that. And I'll put these pipes back. You can see one of the things I did is I actually color-coded my golden bags of holding, and that's really easily done. You just combine the bag with the bag that already exists with a piece of dye. And I'm just using the floral dye since all the Botanica flowers are everywhere, and I haven't started on that mod yet. I don't think I'll have any problem getting them when I need them, but right now I'm just using them for dye. So it makes it easier to tell which bag is which. Keep all my pipes and wires in one, keep my ender porters in another, which I'm going to need later. And I keep everything I'm going to be using the next time. You know, I do some prep work for these episodes before, and I just stick them, like cooking up all this clear glass, and I just stick them in here so that I don't forget about what I need when I'm planning. But anyway, let's wait for this to fill up. All right, for real this time. And we have almost a full tank of oxygen. Come on, we can fill up. And it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bam, we have a full tank of oxygen. Okay, let's go see if this works. Oh, and one thing before I go, I'm going to want to grab a filler material. Let's just grab a whole bunch of gravel. That's probably too much gravel. No, not all of it. All right, some of the gravel, not all of the gravel. All right, sounds good. Oh, you know what? I don't have to do that. Let's head over and see how this works. There we go. Here we go. Sweet. Okay, so we can put you away. We can actually put the whole bag away. And then, let's see, replace you, replace you. We are in. If I look, mode off, oxygen is off. Hit on, and we're in. And we should be able to be, look at that, our air is not going down. Sweet, we are breathing in the water. So hopefully this looks like it's going down the same rate that it went up. So that means we should be able to be here for quite a while, because that took a while. So let's just start outlining the bottom of this dome. And while I'm doing this, one thing that I don't know if you, well, I know you saw it if you made it this far. At the beginning of the video was this little clip where I was caught outside and being attacked by a rogue Mr. T. So obviously the Mr. T well, not obviously, but the Mr. T I know it's just a hat, right? Excuse me. Excuse me, I need a sip. Okay. So the hat is, of course, a hat you can get. You get them from a lot of the different things. But the red moon, I have no idea what the cause of that was. Can I break this with that? Sure. And I can put the sand back. Yeah, I have no idea what caused that red moon thing. I tried to sleep because it was night and it told me I wasn't tired. And I said, fine, I'm not tired. I'm terrified because everything is red and it's night and scary and the mobs were out. So obviously it's something. And I'm going to have to it's some mod doing it, and I'm going to have to look into what is the mod that is doing that. So I think I have a bit of the, yeah, a bit of this already. So now I'm going to have to, well, I don't have to, but now let's start, you know what, let's start right here and start putting some of the glass up so that I can get maybe a bigger base of operations. So this will work. And this is going to take quite some time. I'm not going to make you sit through all of this, but, you know, might as well get started. Probably just at least this oxygen tank full. And using the building guide is certainly the way to do this. It just makes it so easy to be able to, you know, make sure you get the blocks where you want the blocks. So that works. And then let's use some of our gravel and just sometimes, especially when you're using glass, it is, I will admit, a little hard to see where things are. But why don't I work some more on putting this glass up and get a little breathable area, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have one row of the glass, it's dry in there. So that's progress. Not a whole lot of progress, but it's progress. If you look, I'm all the way down to 5,000, and that's because I think I was using this wrong. I just left it on, and I just kept, you know, breathing out of it. But really, all we have to do is refresh our bubbles. So every time my breath gets low, I just turn it on and turn it off, and it refills my air. And yes, it's noisy and annoying, but it is uses much less of the oxygen stored in the tank. So I think that's the way to do it. I really do. You know, just take a breath of air, enough to stop, you know, from suffocating. And that works. So, yep, still doing a whole lot of this building. And I got a whole lot of glass to place. But that's okay, because I made a whole lot of glass. But yeah, don't have anything else really to talk about while I'm doing this. So why don't I come back when I've made a little bit more progress. All right. Progress has been made. I have this central area all pretty much empty. Well, pretty much empty, filled with air. So have the glass up in the top and have this, just gravel walls around here with a little doorway to get out. I've got one side kind of done except for this corners. This one I still have to do. This one still needs to be done, but this one's in pretty good shape. And I have the roof extended out to right about here. So, a lot of good progress has been made. I also lit up some of the area with glowstone so I can actually see what I'm doing around here, which was kind of a pain in the butt. It's much, much easier. So the other things I've done to make this process a little bit easier, and I don't have to swap out my oxygen tank yet, but since I have you guys here, I'll go do that. So I have basically set up, or I built another scuba tank so that I can just basically leave one in here filling up so that it's full when I'm done, and then put it on, and while I'm working, the other one will charge. As you can see, it's also the next day. It's Christmas Eve here for me, so we have the wrapped present chests, and that chest is backwards. But yeah, so we have those in here. The other thing that is going to be very handy to get this done is these sponges. And I should be able to make them with just wool and a slime ball. And yes, now I have sponges. So I can soak up the water instead of using gravel to try and get rid of it. So let's head back and do a little bit more of the building. All right, so here we are. Let's go, we can head out here and let's see how these sponges work. We'll just set you right there. Oh, and see, it just keeps sucking and sucking out this area. So, well, that's nice because it's full. Man, I can't imagine the lag on that is going to be very nice. But really, I don't need it because these areas, I'll just set it around the top here where it's already all cleared out. And I should be able to, empty out a area of water or an area from water right here. And it should, stay empty once I get all the source blocks up here soaked up because, it's under the water. And it's daytime out, so it must be bright, is what I'm guessing, because it's a little hard to see where the water actually is. So let's set those up. And yeah, looks like I do have a pretty good thing of air up in here. If I light up, oh, there's some I missed. Let's try to turn off this. I'll turn off the building guide for now to see if we can see the glass. And being in flying mode is certainly a lot easier when trying to do this this moving around in the water. Wow, so that's doing all sorts of fun stuff with the water here. Oh, it's trying to suck away water on the outside too. So it's not stopped by walls. Oops. And then if I fill you in. Alright, yeah. So yeah, we have a pretty good rim of, pretty good area of, water emptied out up here. And all that weirdness outside, I should go away once I get these sponges out. Come on. 28, 29, and I should have 30. Did I leave the one down there? No, I did not. So I got 32 of these. Yeah, and there we go. We have this nice little area that is water free. So that's nice. Okay, still have a lot more to do. I'm just gonna, set up some torches up here so we can actually see stuff. But yeah, so that's empty. But we do have a lot more to do around in the rest of this dome. You can kind of see the areas that are done now from the way it reflects the glass. So, or the glass shows up through the water. All right, so still some more glassing up to do. I'll be back. All right, we have a lot of the dome done. I've been really, really busy placing glass and placing sponges and getting rid of water and getting a lot of stuff done. So far, well, pretty much 3/4 of this done exactly. Started out with this little circle in the middle and then was pretty much doing a quarter at a time trying to get this done. And it's not that hard. It's just, it's tedious, especially these corner areas, because I have to come in and place the blocks in the right here. So like here, they're not connected, right? So I can place this one and then down and over, and remember to breathe. Have to remember to do my air, and then place these. But then you get stuck in these corners. So these are the parts that just take a long time to put, some kind of placeholder block here in order to fill it up. Oh, and remember to breathe. And not place the blocks wrong. And just get all these done over and over. So, it's working. It's going. It's not too bad. Just one by one. And it's tough when you lose track of exactly where they are. That's the only problem. Sometimes it's really hard to see where the blocks are and where they're not. But by going on either side of it, especially with this building guide blocks, and breathe. You just kind of have to go on either side and look at it and say, okay, like this one. I'm pretty sure that block is wrong. So let's break it. Yeah, see, that was not supposed to be a block there. Breathe. This breathing. Maybe I should have found a better way to work underwater than the scuba tank. But you know what? It's working. So what can you do? But yeah, that block was wrong, and it's hard to tell sometimes. Breathe. All right, let's head back into the air for a second. Okay, we're a little better now. It's funny. We're almost done with this class. But what's funny is that when I'm just working on my own here, that breathing, whatever. It's kind of annoying. It doesn't really bother you. But when you try and talk and deal with that at the same time that you're building and trying to say something and handling the breathing, it gets really, really, I don't know. Maybe I just can't handle that many things at the same time. But it was getting to be a bit much. So I think that the dome is completely done, which is awesome. And I'm on the outside of it, which is not completely awesome. All right, I can get in underneath, I think. Yes, over here. So I believe that this is completely done. So if we shut off the guide, we should be able to see that. And this should be solid. I think so. Let's go take a look from the outside and see. And I accidentally built this. Ooh, slime. I accidentally built this on the slime chunks, which means I'm going to have a slime farm until I set up a magnum torch or something. But, you know, great, whatever. So I think these are done. Does it look like it? Yeah, I don't really see any gaps. It's hard to tell. But there's a subtle difference in the blocks that are actually placed and the ones that are not placed when you look at it from outside. So after I get the glass all in place, the next step I do is basically come across here and just, you know, take out the water with sponges. I'm kind of just doing it a level at a time so that there's no more water source blocks. And then once the water blocks are gone, you can break the sponges here. And I'm only doing this with, oops, and I broke a piece of glass. I don't remember where that was supposed to be. We'll put it there for now. And I'm going to have to do a check to make sure this is all right. But, I'm kind of just doing a level at a time here. Place the sponge blocks. And I'm really just, almost abusing them. Just going straight out and, making sure that at least at this area, there's no more source blocks. And then once I have that, oops, see, there it is in this corner. I totally forgot about it. And then once that's leveled out, I can just break these because there's no more water flowing in. And then take the sponges back and break another piece of glass, which is great. And I get leaks that way. There. I don't think that's right. For some reason, I think it goes there, which is where I tried to put it. So maybe it does go there. Don't worry. If this is like any other dome I've done, I'm going to spend probably the remainder of all the time on the server finding mistakes I've made in the dome and fixing them one by one. But you know what? It doesn't really matter if it's exactly right, as long as it's close enough. So that I don't notice everywhere that it's wrong, because that will bother me every time that I see it, and I'll have to actually fix it at that point. But that's not this point. So, more and more, just get rid of the water here. And, there's easier ways to do this, probably. Well, I don't know if there's easier ways. There's certainly more efficient ways. But, the hardest part about this is actually seeing where we are, because it's where it's all dark underwater, and I haven't lit it all up yet. But yeah, get the sponge, grab the sponge. We need some more over here. Looks like there's a bunch right here. Looks like I need to get... These are the ones that are the real pain, the water that's in the middle of the room. The stuff on the edges is easy because you just plop it right on the wall there. But when it's in the middle of the room, you either, and what I was doing for a while was building out with non-sponge bricks and, getting rid of it that way. But then I realized that, really you can just use a sponge to build it out and then, break these around here once I don't need them anymore. And then I get enough to come over here and, fill in the water and get it to retreat. It's not an exact science, that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to get the absolute most efficient sponge layout, because with these sponges, which are from open blocks, you don't have to re-dry them or anything afterwards. You just plop them down and use them again. So, works really well. But anyway, why don't I finish off the rest of this water, and then we'll be back with a completed dome. Well, at least a domed-in dome. Still have to decorate it. Anyway, we'll be back. Okay, so we are water-free stuck on the roof, on this side, which is excellent. This still has water flowing in because the bottom does not go all the way down to the ground, but that's one of the things I'll have to figure out. There's still a lot of the cosmetic work that I need to do. I need to get the floor hooked up, exactly what the walls are going to look like, exactly where the storage is going to be placed in here. I think I'm going to actually dig... Come on. I think I'm actually going to dig down a little bit at the base. Not a lot, maybe like, I don't know, 3-4 blocks. Just enough so that, the dome is just a little bit above your head. But what I want to do for the bottom edge of where that little wall, and maybe only like 2 bricks. I don't know. 2 blocks, but I'll figure it out exactly where I want to do that. But maybe down to like there, or or there. I don't know, but I think I'm definitely going to lower this just a smidge where the ground is. But once we get all this gravel removed and figure out exactly where the floor is going to be, it will be time to move in our storage, which is exactly what we wanted to do. So, gravel, 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 gravel. Oops. I'm a little too early sometimes when I go to break this. You don't want to fall? Alright, you can fall now. So yeah, we got that wall almost done. I'll finish taking that down later. So yeah, that's our dome. This is where our storage is going to be. We'll figure out the decorative bits and get ready to move in the next time. So until then, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like. Please share it. It helps me get noticed. Lets me know what you would like to see. And have a happy holidays. I know I said Merry Christmas because that's the day it will be when this is up, but happy holidays, whatever you decide to celebrate, Festivus, they're all good. It's just a good time of year for everyone. So until then, I will see you next time. Bye.